Hey, brassfacts here. Laser aiming modules. I won't shut up about them. So today, we're doing a stupid tier list to satisfy innate human desires to rank things that, well, probably shouldn't be ranked. The rules for this list, we're going to have a first tier list that we try to organize everything by raw performance, as in the device teleports onto your rifle, you have it, end of story. AKA, you're rich, you have industry connections, you can just get whatever you want. Then we take that tier list and put it on a medium blend of reality. So halfway through the video, we are going to redo the list and consider pricing, performance, availability, and other factors like servicing. And then we're going to reorganize that list. These will be timestamped so you can kind of swap around, and if you want, just skip to the second part. This video is sponsored by Eclipse Armory. Yeah, they give me ammo, which I get ammo, and I can legitimately use most of these products. The vast majority of which I've used have at least 1,000 rounds behind them, if not more, from either myself or Hop. Regardless, go check out Eclipse Armory. Let's get started. Go ahead and brace yourself. This is a long one, only for the most extreme degenerate laser fanboys.
That is a mighty fine pile of lasers you got there.
You like my... I started the stream with the pile of lasers just centered like this.
That looks like the floor of my office right now. I mean, the Perst-3 is the better unit because it has an illuminator, and I think we consider an illuminator to be borderline non-negotiable when it comes to a laser unit.
Yeah, specifically this is for like rifle usage in most cases, though. We'll probably talk about subgun usage. So the Perst-3 has a laser vis, IR pointer, and an illuminator. It's full power in nature, so it's full chooch. So that's really
outrageous
useful.
Horsepower.
Yeah, outrageous horsepower. It's QD. It's by far the better of the two. Used to be pretty cheap too, about $1,300, right?
You can't talk about price yet. It's against the rules.
Oh shit! Fuck! Oh yeah, that's. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to not talk about price. I'm not gonna keep these to scale at all. But this is like A, I guess, right? The ergos suck. You can't put a Wilcox thing on it, but pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, you don't have SureFire switch compatibility unless you do some splicing and soldering, which some people will happily do. But I mean, you've already got reports of not so great performance in wet environments with the Perst. The main thing I don't like about it is the firing mode, where if you accidentally tap for
it'll go,
then it sticks on. So
it's got like flipped logic compared to Western.
Single tap. If you just tap it, it'll stay on. If you hold it, it'll turn off when you release. But then it's that the question of the timing. Like, how long do you have to hold it for it?
It's just unintuitive. I mean, it's a Russian unit, so of course it's unintuitive.
Yeah, and so you got spongy buttons that you have to hold for just the right amount of time to get it to stay on. It's just not great.
Yeah, but we'll put in A tier, right?
It's not a mature piece of technology.
I think.
But yes, I mean.
Okay. The other one, the Perst-4, F.
S tier, Perst-4 is the best laser. The illuminator is not even a factor because the laser is so bright.
Oh my god!
You can just use the laser.
I'm putting in an F tier. It's a laser only. I don't care. It doesn't do
statements made by people who have never actually tried it.
I mean, it's disqualified. I'm putting it on the list because otherwise all the comments would be like, "Why isn't it on the list?" It doesn't even rate for the list. It was my first video though.
So okay, that should get it upgraded to E tier.
This one's tough. This is the redesign too. Actually, it's got this flip cap on it. Yeah, I mean,
like it's low profile. I like the fire button. I like the
It's incredibly low profile.
The addition of a diffuser is definitely nice.
The durability is questionable, unfortunately.
Does this new version come with the metal clamp?
Yes, it does. I think
on one side.
Just on one side. Yeah, the other side is still the housing. Yeah.
I'd say that's a pretty damn good unit. I think the real issue is not just the 3D printing and the plastic cracking, but the fact that from all the people that we know who have bought these,
so many of them have issues.
Yeah, how many of them haven't had issues? I can't think of anybody who just bought one and was like, nice, it works.
The good thing is you can send them back in and keep doing it until you get a good one.
Yep, because it is an American-made unit. So yeah,
I'm gonna put in a C tier, strong C tier.
That's acceptable.
Streamlight VIR II.
So it's basically a super cheap version of the SureFire X400V. So it's a white light IR illuminator and an IR laser. But the issue is that, as far as I know, SureFire still owns the patent on putting the IR module on the little rotating bezel. Yeah. And the only way to get good IR performance is to get that LED emitter centered in the reflector. So nobody else can do that, which means that the VIR2 has this shitty offset IR illuminator that just gives you this insanely wide. It's 180 degrees of spill. There is now aftermarket, somebody's like Code 4 Defense makes a little flip cap for it that's, People are making these for everything, little flip diffuser or focusing lens assembly. Okay, sure, I guess that's all fine. The problems I still have with these is that they don't hold the rail very well. I don't think they hold zero particularly well. And yeah, you will have to remove it. If you have it on a pistol, you'll have to remove it to put the battery in. I don't know. I don't think these things are really incredibly janky, and I don't think they're
I think this is about the worst you can do while having an illuminator and a laser.
Yeah, technically it does all the stuff. It just does all of it really badly. Pretty solid F tier, I think.
F tier? Okay, fuck.
Yeah. Without considering
the Perst is only in the E tier out of nostalgia because it works well in AK, so you could look over the front sight block.
Yeah, that, and because it launched my favorite YouTube channel of all time.
Oh, this is... Oh, wow, look at this tiny little fucking thing. This is a head that goes...
you just made it bigger and the resolution stayed the same.
This is not this way. This is a head that goes on a SureFire body. So these used to all be high resolution, but I had to rasterize them to fit them on screen. Goes on a SureFire body. You have a IR illuminator, a V-cell, so it's pretty powerful, and a IR pointer, which is, you know, it's whatever, it's Civ, and it goes on a SureFire body, so it works on a standard thing. It does not have a flashlight built in. Made by the same company that makes the US Night Vision DIR-V 3ER, I think, 3IER, something like that.
3EIR, like that.
3EIUL.
F tier.
F tier? Why?
F tier.
Because it doesn't hold zero?
Because first of all, how are you mounting a flashlight to your gun? Second of all, does your flashlight body hold zero? Also, you have to remove this thing to change the batteries. Also, it's the same problem that you get with all those other devices where now you've got to have two flashlight bodies on your gun. So maybe you're looking at one of those Echo arms double mounts. I hate this shit. I hate this shit so much. F tier.
Would you want a VIR2 Streamlight or this?
Oh my god! At least I could find a use for the VIR2 because it seems to me like still a pretty decent choice for like a subgun or something. Yeah,
especially if you can mount it at the 12 o'clock rail.
Yep, you activate it with your thumb. You're not expecting to try to use one of their long gun adapter kits, you know. And it's like a micro PDW, something tiny that you pull out of a backpack, and maybe someday you're like, I guess IR would be nice. So at least if you could put it sub F, this is making me want to reconsider because now I don't feel like the VIR2 deserves.
Okay, I'll put it in sub F.
Oh,
I can't.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's off the screen. All right, I'll put
F
it
minus.
underneath.
There you go. Yeah, F minus, halfway off
minus.
the F.
Yeah, like there. It's halfway off the F. Here, we'll put it over the F so we can see it. It's down there. Here, I'll rotate it sideways so you can kind of see it.
There you go. See it sticking out like it's drowning. It's asking for help, but no one's listening.
Okay. This thing. Whoo.
There you go. See, now that's what the VIR2 is supposed to be. That's a SureFire XVL2-IRC.
Yeah, but
it is civilian-powered laser, which is fine. I've never felt like I needed a full-power designator. And because you notice that it's got those two light bezels, one of those is white, one of those is IR. So both of them take advantage of the focusing lens assembly. So kind of like a SureFire Vampire light, at least the IR blood illuminator is relatively focused. So this one is more like in the footprint. You could put one of these on a pistol, but it's more like a subgun thing.
Yeah, this is actually cool on a subgun.
You know, it's just properly designed and made to do that job, not like the XVL or not like the VIR2, which is jank.
Yeah, so this is like one step above it. Yeah, it's still weak sauce.
LED-based IR illuminator with no focus.
This is meant to be full power, honestly, right?
There is a full power version of that,
but you can't get it.
Again, law enforcement creds, so we're considering the civilian version.
Yeah, so it's not very impressive, especially when we start talking about price. X400U.
That's not the right picture, but it does the job. Beautiful. So Viz laser, IR laser, and then basically a vampire pistol light.
Yeah, this thing, it's okay. My group, quote unquote, uses one of these. It's better than the Streamlight, but it's got the worst ergonomics on planet Earth. The rotating bezel, excellent, right? Like, that's cool. Awesome. The switch, you can't see it here because this is dog shit resolution, but the rotary switch on the back, the switch from the Viz to the off to the IR laser, like, can just be bumped, and it's the leading edge on the bottom thing, so it's constantly in the wrong setting. You never expect it. And this thing on the bottom, I believe, can override the flashlight. So you flip the switch in the back and nothing happens. And it's a thumb
these
screw,
things are
and the battery
insane.
mounts on the back. So on the most useful thing that this could be on, which is a fucking flux radar or something, you unzero it every time you remove the flashlight, and you need to use Allen keys to fucking zero it. Oh, it's horrible. So the performance on this thing is good once you have it working, but everything else sucks. Versus the Streamlight, where it's actually kind of not terrible, but everything about it sucks. We got one for 500, and it's still fucking hate it.
I'm ready.
MAWL on performance alone, MAWL-C+.
I would say it's a pretty good A tier. Perst-3 in A tier, and that thing
Okay. I'd agree. I don't think it's S tier. It's certainly not S tier.
No, it certainly could be. There's the stuff that we want out of a laser specifically. I don't think we really want to have that 3-position switch and the 2 buttons and the big ass zoomer hanging
the
off
2
the
buttons.
side.
I like the 2 buttons. This lever switch I've discovered I don't care for. It doesn't do anything useful apparently. Like
I feel like
for
would
the Civ
like,
version. For the Civ version.
Yeah, I think it's
Like-
just the controls pile up becomes a little bit. There's too many combinations because you've got a 3-position head, a 3-position switch, and then 2 buttons. And the buttons do different things based on the position of the switch and the head. It's like, yeah, you know what? I feel like you could make a noob version of the MAWL that had, 1 button and 2-position switch.
It's hard to explain this without actually understanding how this thing works because it's a lot of configurations, but it's fairly logical when you use it. The issue is I don't use this switchy thingy over here. Like, I'm just going to push it all the way forward and leave it in the middle. And if I have too much illuminator, I do the back button. And if I have too little illuminator, I use the forward button. I don't use this feature. Yeah,
so
I think it's a solid A.
Power-wise, great illuminator performance. It's
yeah.
nice and clean beam. It's fucking outrageously powerful.
I want to add this because we kind of skimmed over it. The MAWL is actually probably realistically more of an A+, or I guess S- here. And don't worry, we realize the Perst-3 is placed way too high. That thing's coming down. The issue with the MAWL is that it's a tad over-designed for what it functionally ends up being able to do, which is a 2 V-cell-based system. Specifically for the civilian version, it has fairly redundant controls because the rocker I alluded to, a major component of the system, is functionally almost identical on the full power or the middle power mode on the Civ version. They could very easily be combined. It obviously makes sense for the full power version, but this isn't the full power version. The rotary bezel is also awesome. It gives great tactile feedback, but it just kind of, because of how it's designed, gobbles sand and dirt and is a major failure point. Regardless, this will occupy the same tier as a lot of the legacy full power lasers. In some ways, I do enjoy those legacy units, but I'd say the MAWL generally kind of outranks them just due to the user interface, hence the A+, but welcome to the crude nature of tier lists. Just doesn't quite feel like S tier to me with some of the issues, many of which I'll probably just leave for the review and discuss those there then. Okay, back to the video, I guess. All right, next up, RAID Xe.
Yeah.
I think it's a better MAWL. Like,
Yep.
all things considered, I think it. Oh, you agree? Okay. So
Yeah.
it's more like this because it has a shit tape switch, but I don't even care. I'm not going to use the tape switch. I think it's really fucking good. It overcomes the issues that the MAWL has because all you do here is you set yourself to the correct button and then you press fire. If you want to change your illumination pattern, you have 2 ways to go about it. You spin the dial with your thumb, right? It's accessible to your thumb, so you just spin it without really adjusting your grip, or you adjust the power levels up and down via these buttons on the top. And it's smaller, it's lighter, and it just fits on a rifle better. I think the MAWL has moments where it shines over the RAID Xe, but I think the overall user experience is better on the RAID Xe. What do you think?
Yes. I think the complexity of like the programming and stuff on the RAID Xe still seems unnecessary, even more so than all the modes on the MAWL. But I love the form factor. It's small, it's light, it fits right onto the top rail. It doesn't spill off to the sides. It's got a nice fire button placement. Could be, I'd be more excited if like the tape switch didn't come out in such a weird way and didn't use like a lame proprietary.
The tape switch is
but
basically useless. It's a non-factor.
But like that's what a laser should be. It should be a small little box that doesn't really get in the way and doesn't weigh a lot.
Yeah, let's like put it to scale here compared to the MAWL. There we go.
There we go. Yep. That's more
Now it's to scale compared to.
Yeah. Which would you rather have on the end of your gun? 6 pixels or 48 megabytes?
Oh no! It fucking no!
God, it made it worse. Holy shit! You
we
can't.
can fix
Yeah.
it. There we go.
Once you can't put the genie back in the bottle, dude. Whatever you've got here, I guess on the top left you've got the LS221, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So this is
Or is that the one in the middle? It looks identical to the LS321, but one of them has two lasers.
Well, you can tell because there's less zeroing, I think. No, that's not. It's hard to tell. I'm pretty sure this is. Oh shit! I got it flipped. God, they look so similar.
They are identical. I mean, they are basically an identical unit. The difference is that one of them has an illuminator in the same emitter housing. So yeah, the 221. I don't even know why the 221's on here because it doesn't fit our rule about illuminators. So F tier.
Yeah, why is it here?
Just to clear the air.
Yeah,
but
okay,
yeah,
okay, there we go. Now we have a good comparison chart.
Yeah, so the LEs they seem a lot nicer than the LSs in a lot of ways, like the titanium bodies, they're lower profile, they cost a lot more. IR laser, Viz laser, and illuminator versions. The LE321 has a replaceable light cap, that can take a flashlight, which, it makes it a good alternative to those, like the VIR-2 or the XVL2-IRC. It's like a subgun laser that's a little bit more properly designed.
I'm putting them all in D tier.
These are kind of tough. It kind of depends on like what you want to do with it. But yeah, at the end of the day, like
they're
D tier. Yeah, they're good.
Like you can put these slightly higher because it's just a slightly better product. But ultimately, it's like if you want a flashlight, you get the one with the flashlight. If you want to use a dedicated flashlight, you get a dedicated flashlight. It's just two different choices. And then the LEs are just built slightly better. But there's some things that make these better. I don't know. I'm putting them in D tier. Oh, here, perfect. The HLAD.
This is the South Korean Holosun laser. It's basically exactly the same thing, except
so it goes in with the Holosun laser. Yep.
I might even say less. So, like halfway. I don't know. Give it a D minus because it does look cooler, but also like the Holosun lasers have proven themselves pretty well over the last couple of years.
All right, we'll have them share. We'll crowd them in like that. There you go. All right, let's have the full power gray market talk. So full power.
So remember, you can't talk about price right now.
Yeah, it's not talking about price. You can't get there's a full power MAWL. There's a full power RAID Xe. There's probably a full power US night vision, but who cares? There's a full power. There's the NGAL. There's the full power. This guy, you can't get those unless you have, really good ends with an LE department, or you are in the LE, or you're in the military, but then you don't have a choice. So whatever, that doesn't count. There is an exception to this in that the used market is covered in gray market lasers, as in they fell off a truck in the military. Probably they were tactically acquired, something, right? But the used market is full of these fucking things. So that's why these ones are on the list. There are more than these guys, but that's what the full power stands because there's non-full power variants of these.
Yeah. So PEQ-15, aka the ATPIAL, the PEQ-2, and then the DBAL-A2, aka the PEQ-15A.
Yeah.
Those are the common ones because they were like sold in huge numbers to the military for a long time. So that's why
now they're getting rid of them.
Yeah, and the reason they're getting rid of them is because they're very old. Like, I don't know what was the age the data manufacturer on the PEQ-15 that I had was 2010 or something like that. So by the time I got it, it was already over 10 years old. Yeah, and you've got a almost 15-year-old laser.
So here's the kicker with these. If you break them, you cannot repair them. And if you send them in to Steiner or to L3, they'll look up the number and they'll be like, oh, that's cute, and you'll never get it back again. So when you buy these,
keeping this.
Yeah, when you buy these, you can never repair them. It's a one-time purchase, and when it breaks, that's it.
If we were talking about a brand new full power PEQ-15, it is the ultimate example of a great laser. But specifically talking about the one you can actually buy, which is beat to shit stolen one, not so much.
B tier.
Because you're gonna have all sorts of problems. Same thing, PEQ-2s are like outrageously powerful, but they're also massive. I'd say the PEQ-2 probably suffers.
We could probably put that down here. Yeah,
that's C tier. The PEQ-2 is huge. Although now I'm seeing that these are outranking the Perst-3 is outranking this, and that doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah. I think actually now that I'm thinking about A tier, right, for these things, like why not?
Yeah.
A tier. Yeah. They're definitely more durable than a USNV for sure.
On reflection, I feel like we just went off half-cocked and we gave the Perst-3 more than it deserved.
Yeah, you might be onto something.
Plus, B tier was looking a little sad and lonely. So, all right, there we go. Perfect.
There we go. This makes me a lot more happy, right? Because the MAWL is going to beat a Perst. These guys beat a Perst in terms of like, yeah, okay. Because these have switch compatibility. Okay, this list sucks, but who cares? Next up, the ATPIAL-C, not to be confused with the full power. I'll put it into F out of principle, but this is probably an E tier.
Yeah, the ATPIAL-Cs, I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. It seems like something happened to Insight. Regardless, it's the weakest the weakest unit on the market. Like as weak as Holosuns are.
This laser is even weaker.
Oh, it's an E tier. Like, I mean,
yeah, no, it's an E tier. I keep wanting putting the F tier because
unit.
I'm pissed off, but yeah, it's an E tier. Okay, here, let's bring the Steiner boys in. Where's my other Steiner? Here. We'll bring these two Steiner boys in. So, Hop's favorite laser of all time until his heart was crushed a second time. First it was Amy Geisley, and now it's the I2. Tell me about your beloved I2.
DBAL I2 9007, aka the PEQ-2. PEQ-2A? I don't know. It's the alternative version of the PEQ-2, but the civilian version was for a long time. You know, it's just a good basic laser. Doesn't have a lot of features, but it's still small. It's compact. Works pretty well. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a civilian laser, so it's not very powerful. I'd say D
Probably
tier.
D tier.
I mean, honestly,
it's the same performance as
it's a
all
civilian
of these.
laser, so yeah.
Yeah. A3. It's just a better thing, but not by much. So bleh.
Yeah, it's got the Viz laser if you want the Viz laser, but then again, it's also got the Viz override port, which is like nonsense.
No one uses that on planet Earth.
Yeah, screw you.
Okay, D2. This is going to be a tough one. The D2 is a focusable variant of the DIR-V. There you go. That's basically what it is. But
Yep,
this is not to
big.
scale. Hold on. Okay.
There we go.
So this is roughly the size of the D2, so that is very much into consideration. So maybe C or B? Yeah.
I'd say B tier because it's a heavier unit, but a good.
Or I'll
clean,
scale it down a
powerful
bit so it fits
illuminator.
on the chart, but that's about right. There we go.
It could occupy all of B and C tiers by itself, but yeah, it's a powerful, clean, focusable illuminator. It's got your Viz laser for zeroing. It's got simple, easy to use controls. The fire button placement's a little shitty.
Yeah, if the DIR-V was just a little bit more durable, I'd say it'd be a strong B tier, and almost as a result, it would push down the D2, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, the D2's got all the Steiner problems. Like, the caps are going to break off day one, but that's okay because it still works. When the DIR-V breaks, it doesn't work. Also, doesn't even make it to day one because it breaks on the way out of the box.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they have some issues. I think they'll probably figure it out, but they haven't figured it out at this time. Oh my God, why is this on the list?
Oh, yeah.
This is the A4.
The DBAL-A4, that's a Holosun LS420, I guess. I don't know. It's all just a civ laser with a
flashlight strapped to it.
Cancer hanging off the side, and I don't think it's a very good flashlight either.
CT, this is your baby.
Could you imagine if they put a light on the D2 and called it what would they call it? The D4? That thing would be an abomination.
The D to the power of 10. The D10.
The D99.
Oh my gosh. All right, the CTF2. This is your baby. I don't know too much about this thing.
I'd say these are a B tier option. There's a little bit of jank involved because it's got to use a Kiji head, and Kijis have some peculiar performance characteristics. But
like parasitic drain.
Yeah, weird shit with the Kijis. But some of the big advantages, like this thing has totally modern ergonomics. You know, kind of like the MAWL or the DIR-V, where it's like, all right, so wait, why were we doing it like that? Why were we making these weird boxes with a plug on the back? This thing just has a really nicely accessible laser-only fire button, and then white mode and IR mode. Yeah, and it's low profile. It doesn't get in the way of scopes as much. Sits nice on a rail. Accessible, ambidextrous from a firing grip. Doesn't need switches. There's a lot to be said about it, but yeah, it is a little bit limited by the fact that
I think C tier makes a little more sense.
It's probably fair.
Because it's got some quirks. It's got a lot of quirks, and it's brushed aluminum.
Yep, you definitely have to spray paint them, and I don't know why the buttons are green. Stop
Fluorescent.
asking.
I'm reviewing this right now. It's the Chinese Laserspeed. I think it's Chinese Laserspeed lasers. I mean, these are just shittier PEQ-15s. Like that. What else can I say? They're shittier PEQ-15s.
Big bodies. They're unregulated gray market laser power. They're very much just Chinese. They're Chinese Persts. Let's
yeah, they're Chinese Persts. Okay, that's a great way to put it. And They are built way less quality than a Perst. They're still full power, but they go in C tier, easy C tier. All right, keep the list going.
Oh my God, there's still more lasers in the pile.
We're almost out. Full power SomoGear. So this is an airsoft laser.
Good F tier because it's not a real fucking laser.
Yeah, I'll put it on the same tier. It's not F tier. It's better than these things. Like these things have worse intrinsic problems than a SomoGear. I have control of the mouse. I execute override authority. All right. These two are weird. These don't technically count. So we have a Kiji with a IR laser unit separately. This has kind of been your shtick. I think you're the first one that has really big videos on this setup. Explain to me why.
The Kiji and or a SureFire Vampire are just IR illuminators that you could either pair with a standalone laser, like the LS117 from Holosun, which is in that picture, or a Steiner OTAL-C or a Steiner CQBL, whatever. Or you could just use them in conjunction with a passive optic to, hey, that doesn't work as well as people think, but yeah, I guess you could do it. I find this whole idea incredibly janky from like a bulk standpoint, like that, that little combination you've got there of a laser and a flashlight with a Kiji head is still going to need another flashlight on top of that. Trying to get them to co-align. Yeah, it's just turbo jank. It is. I
almost prefer the SureFire because
the SureFire definitely beats the Kiji because it's a versatile setup.
Because with the SureFire, you're probably not even going to use a laser, honestly. You're probably just going to run the flashlight and just passive aim because it's really what's after tertiary, quaternary setup for night vision. Like you have the option and you can do night vision with an illuminator and you just passive aim through your optic that probably doesn't even do passive aiming well, but because you're just vomiting IR, it kind of works. But then you have to ask the question, why aren't you just buying a D2? Yeah. It's just that's not even a money thing. It's similar, probably less bulk actually. We'll call it similar. Controls are way more intuitive.
Yep. So I think the Kiji doesn't make sense in that. That's such a weird, somebody had it in their head, hey, I could use the Kiji for this. I don't think it was ever intended for that. And I don't think it's a good idea at all. So I think that's pretty bad. The Vampire, though, I can see the argument for to make a pretty simple system.
So I'd put this in the same tier, right? It's just a different use case. Oh my God, there's no space. On top, we'll put it here in D tier, right? It's the same as a Civ Power, but it's like a different direction you're taking it. Not really a night vision centric gun. And then this, I think, would go into E tier. It's notably below. The performance, it's there, but it's just really jank. And these things up here do this way better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, this one's a hypothetical. I'm sure it exists somewhere. A civilian Oogle from L3.
S tier.
Yeah, it's just a better RAID Xe, right?
Yep, simpler. So it's got what we want. It doesn't have what we don't want. And it's the same approximate size and weight. Nice little trim package. And it's powerful.
And now we have to, we convert this list into the real world, where we actually have to buy these things, and it actually has to be able to show up to our front door. So Oogle, F tier, you can't get it.
Doesn't exist. Yeah, there's no civilian version even planned as far as we know. It's one of those classic things that people will say at SHOT Show where you're like, oh, is this going to come out in gray? And they're like, well, nothing's impossible. And you're like, okay, you could have just said no. Yeah. Is this going to come out for civilians? Oh, that's definitely a possibility. Well, yeah, anything's a possibility in this wide open universe we live in.
Can we just make this smaller so we have room?
Oh, God. Oh, God. There you go.
Oh, no.
No, did you just turn them all into one laser or one layer?
No. I just selected them all. We're good.
Okay.
We'll turn them all into one laser. The laser suit. It's the perfect laser.
The ultimate laser. It's a disco ball.
SomoGear, $200. Where does it go?
All right. Now we're talking.
Now it makes sense.
Now we're talking
that's
about
a C
maybe...
tier.
Yeah, C tier. I was even going to say B- tier.
We don't have. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the. I think a C tier is right. Like you know when you get a test back and you get a C, you're like, fuck. All right, whatever, and then you move on with your life. Like that's the SomoGear to me. Like I don't ever want one of these things.
Yeah, I'd be more willing to take that gamble for $300 than for something like the VIR-2, where it's like the VIR-2 also might not fucking hold zero because it's got such a janky clamp system, but at least the SomoGear is powerful.
Okay, the LS-M3 and the LS-FLS. So these are the basically two Chinese Persts.
Those are cheap enough that I think they stay there. I don't think that's...
Yeah, that's a good spot for them. Yeah, so it's a more reliable SomoGear, right? Because they're better designed by far. Exact same performance as the SomoGear, but they're about $1,000.
Yeah, it's not an airsoft tier laser. It's a Chinese military tier laser, which, I mean, hey, what's the difference? Am I right? But no, there is a slight difference between the PLA and your average airsofter. The airsofter's got better pants on, better MREs in his backpack.
Fuck. Steiner A4. All right, I'm putting that in the F tier.
Sub F. Just take it off screen.
Okay.
Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. All right, CTF2.
That gets I think with price considered and availability considered, that gets a bump to B tier. I mean, availability in terms of, like, it's just a civilian unit you can just buy with a credit card online.
Steiner I2. Does that get knocked down to E because it's basically
B.
What? You can't.
B.
But they're not available. They don't make them anymore.
But you can. Okay. C. You can still buy them from Kosher Surplus or Custom Night Vision. They apparently bought like the last pallet full of those things. No. It's the tier above Holosun. When you're like, I want to spend a little more than Holosun, you get more illuminator performance.
I'm gonna leave it in D tier. I'm gonna leave it in D tier.
It's your fucking.
I'm leaving it in D
anyway.
tier.
All right, but that means the A3 has got to be demoted to.
Yeah.
E tier.
Okay, so we can do that now. The A3 is a worse I2 in terms of financial logic.
Yeah, because an A2 will run you $800, maybe $900 right now. Unfortunately, an A3 will run you $1,300. And all you get for your troubles is a Viz override port you're not going to use in a Viz laser.
This guy, I think this gets bumped up at least one. The Kiji bullshit.
Yeah, price to
because it's
performance.
available. It's cheaper than most of these nicer units. Yeah, it's doable. It's not very good. It's not a C tier for sure. We'll put it here, I think, right?
Yep.
Steiner D2. Does that go up to A tier?
A tier at least, maybe even S tier.
Because it's the highest level of performance for $1,200 to $1,600.
Yeah, I would say part of my love for the D2 is based on the fact that for a long time now, and still currently, you can get them from like Custom Night Vision / Kosher Surplus or B&H Photo for I think like $1,250 to $1,300 if you use their like email me a price. You can still get these things reliably below the MAP. And for that money, hell yeah. If you had to actually pay $1,600 for one of these, then I would be looking perhaps elsewhere. But yeah, for the price that they are currently going for, it's
literally the same performance as these guys, right? It's very similar to these. Like, these guys change how you put the power down range, like with doohickeys and shit like that. But it's the same performance, but it's $1,200, and these are all more. Sorry, but we have to put it at scale again.
Yeah,
so
remember how big it is.
Yeah, it's also F tier.
It's all the way down to F tier, just based on size alone.
All right, ATPIAL-C, gone. Fucking get out of here. Gone forever. Not only can you not get them, but these are $1,800. They're stupid.
Yeah, they're crazy expensive. $1,700 or something like that. Sometimes maybe as low as $1,500. But given that it performs as well, I was gonna say as well, worse than maybe even a Holosun laser. Gross, dude.
Absolutely disgusting. Where are we putting the full powers? We can do them all at the same time.
I'd say
B
those
or C?
Those take a bit of a pegging. It kind of depends on
because they're expensive. They're about 2,000, maybe 15 to 2,000, right?
Yeah, depending on
salty
condition
factor.
mainly. Yeah, and I think the issue there is that it's not only that they're expensive, it's that money might just be a write-off for the rest of your life.
It probably
that might just be $2,000 that disappears. Price to performance wise, pretty kick-ass for a salty full power unit. I'd say the PEQ-2 gets an upgrade as well because those are even cheaper sometimes. Like,
oh yeah.
As of this writing, maybe $800 to $1,000. Again, they're salty as fuck because they're even older typically than the PEQ-15. But
yeah, oh, shit. I almost want to put these in 8, like A, B, like that, and then put this below it. Is it this one? Oh yeah.
Holosun LS3G1 is fucking A tier, man. That is the best, like A tier, man. That is the best entry level laser because you can get one of those for probably about $600, and
performance blows.
Performance blows, but it's got everything you need. It's like a great entry level or practice device.
So it's the opposite. It's the opposite of one of these full power things. The Holosun thing, assuming it works, right? Because Holosun sometimes has it break from the factory, but that's okay. Just send it back in, and you'll get another one. Unlike the full power laser, you have the worst performance. It's civilian power performance, but it'll be with you forever. And it's QD, so as you buy more night vision bullshit, because you are addicted and now you're part of the cabal, you have to buy more night vision bullshit, you can shuffle this thing out to less important guns. And it'll be with you forever, and that $600 will never be poorly spent. It's an okay.
It goes on a loaner gun, it goes on a friend's gun, you keep it as a backup option. It's not even easy for a lot of people to practice with night vision at long range anyway, so there's a pretty good chance that you'll never really be able to use a full power laser to its potential anyway.
Yeah, we're mostly talking illuminator, but yeah.
Not so much for all of the other ones, because those end up costing more money and don't give you tangibles. Like the 420s, I think they can live in D tier, honestly.
Really?
The white lights on those are so weak that the only person who should ever buy any of those 3 lasers is you, because you're the fucking idiot with a TP9.
Next up, the S tier RAID Xe.
F minus.
You can't get them. Well, I'll put them in E tier because sometimes you catch them when they liquidate.
Yeah,
E-tier.
you could order one.
You'll just never.
They
take your money. They take your money.
They do take your money. Okay, so that's $3,600 that goes away right away, and then you get this like IOU that says, if we ever catch up to our law enforcement contracts, we'll try to get one of these out to you.
It's so sad because I love this thing.
Oh my god, I hope somebody jailbreaks one of those and gets it to run Doom.
Let's keep going. Wilcox. Okay, MAWL. I'm gonna take it down 1 tier, I think, to be.
It's expensive, but
it's really expensive.
You can buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Do you like B tier? I like B tier.
And the price keeps going up. Yeah, B tier's good.
Okay, B tier's good. It's great performance, but yeah, it's not significant. It's all on par with everything here except the CTF and the LS321, but it's outrageously priced. Like, everyone says buy once, cry once, but there is an upper limit to buy once, cry once, in my opinion. And I think for many people, the MAWL is well above that threshold. We're talking like 3x, more than 3x more. And the thing is, here's the thing is, this thing comes in and says, hi, I have the same performance. We're going to piss so many people off.
And it hangs off to one side of the gun.
Here, I'm just going to put it down
really
here because
bulky.
the fans are... No, okay.
Yeah, it gets an F for fans.
All right,
if money is no object, then just hire some private security already.
But money is an object in this thing. Like, we have to talk about cost to performance ratio.
If money is no object, then why are you risking your own life? Just
hire private security.
Yeah.
SureFire X400. Where are you? Okay, this is like even worse now because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, if the fact that you guys got one at a good price and still hate it is pretty telling.
XVL2, I think it goes down a tier. It's
also going to take, those are maybe $1,300, $1,400, plus they're hard to find. They might have been discontinued even.
HLAD going down to probably E tier because it's expensive.
That's maybe worse than that because, those are literally, it's a Holosun. Like, it has the same function.
You know what? It's worse than the A3, so it's F. It's just too expensive for what it is. It's like $1,600.
$1,699 out of an MSRP of $2,000.
For those that don't understand, this has functionally the same performance as this. This costs $600. This costs $1,700.
Yep. It's better looking than a Holosun LS117.
The Holosun is an ugly bitch.
Damn, it's cool looking. And I love the way that the emitters are separate. So they just look like a fucking Among Us character.
Yeah. Oh no!
Now you can see it too.
All right, 3IR-V Vulcan head. Does that go up to E because it like...
Yeah, what does that cost? $800 for a VXL head?
I think it's $600. Go check it real quick.
The IR-V Bravo Black, $700.
Shit.
I mean, it's unusable because it goes on a fucking flashlight head, but $700, it's the price of a Kiji plus a laser, so...
I'll put it... Oh, yeah, I think it's an E tier. That's an E tier, yeah. SureFire combo. I think it can hang out in D tier. The SureFire...
B.
No!
Oh, the combo. The combo specifically, yeah.
No, not the combo. This thing. Just the light.
But just a SureFire light in itself is S tier all day, every day. I love them. Love my fucking vampires.
No, blue balls, no. Just a SureFire Vampire for it's technically F tier. It doesn't even work.
It has to rank out. It has to outrank the fucking Kiji.
Well, the Kiji's probably gonna move. Oh, fuck.
It's so much more usable. Like that's where I think if we're talking about the combo, the Steiner OTAL-C.
See, look, it's on top of it. It's pushing it down. Look there.
I guess so.
But it's not going into C tier.
That's what, honestly, that's what your field rifle needs. That's a thing. It's a thing you could do.
I begrudgingly put this into C tier, but I'm gonna turn it upside down to voice my displeasure.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna flip it horizontal, so it's inverted.
Also, the remark we made about how those were becoming hard to get, I don't think they've been discontinued. I just don't think there's any intention to manufacture them because of how much SureFire wants to make turbo lights.
Yeah. Which they should. They should be focusing on putting out turbo lights. They're fucking unobtainable.
Okay, but you know what else is unobtainable? The fucking replacement for my X300V that I've been waiting for 5 months.
Yeah, that's right.
And they basically gave me the same response as, the fucking RAID Xe, where it's like, yeah, well, if we ever catch up to our law enforcement contracts, we'll happily send you a replacement light. Great.
Fuck,
can't wait.
So
I can't wait for the cops to get everything they're ever going to need.
Streamlight VIR II. You can hang out here.
I can get a bump. Because remember, it's $300 or $300.
You can also buy it, I guess. And it's yeah.
Amazon, you can Amazon Prime that shit to your house tonight.
US Night Vision DIR-V. Fuck, is that just a C?
For $2,000, it either stays where it's at or gets pegged.
I think it stays here because it's really look if this thing was durable and reliable for $2,000, right? Durable and reliable, it'd be here.
Yep.
But it's not.
Yep.
And
price to performance is great. Price to quality is completely upside down. And I get it. Like, those probably aren't that cheap to make, and they probably weren't cheap to design. But it's like, hey, at some point, man, you're going to have to accept that you are a virtual unknown trying to sell people on a $2,000 laser that has a really bad track record. That's tough. S tier. For sure. 100% S tier. You literally can't lose money on a Perst. If I had kept my Perst for a little bit longer, I bought my Perst-4 for $350 and I sold it for $300 like immediately afterwards because I didn't know that they were going to rock it. I didn't know that Perst-4 was going to go to the fucking moon.
This is GME stock.
$900. If I had just kept my Perst for a year, I would have tripled my money.
It's going into F tier.
Yeah, when they were $350, absolutely fucking high tier. But now that they're $900 and they'll probably get pinched at customs.
And they have all the issues of a full power laser. You can't repair them anymore. You can't send them back. You might not even get it in the first place. And this one is still illegal because it doesn't have an illuminator. So fuck you.
Yeah. That was always the question with the Perst. Just like technically, ZenitCo is it ZenitCo, right? It makes those. They will technically fix it for you, but you have to get it out of the country and then back into the country. And technically, sending a Perst-4 out of the country is a federal crime, so I don't think you want to fucking chance that.
And at this point, they're too busy trying to convert tanks into mobile artillery. I don't think they've got time for you. Perst-3. Oh, that's not a Perst-3.
Nope. $2,130.
Perst-3s are $2,100. Okay, that's F tier. Like, it doesn't make sense anymore. It's a full power laser with all the issues of a full power laser, but it's not American made. And don't get me wrong, American made doesn't mean shit because a lot of these American things are dog shit, but they're not quite this tier. But they're better than a Perst. It's a cleaner beam. You can use crane plug compatibility. Both of them have all the same issues where it's basically you can't send it in once it breaks. You can't send in a Perst-3 when it breaks. They all cost the same amount. Actually, the Perst probably costs more because cloners are keeping the price high. It's just a really bad buy. D tier, I think D tier. It's definitely not C tier. I don't think.
I hate the switchology, the buttons. I don't speak Russian, so it's.
And I think that's it. Nothing is an S tier right now because that is the state of the laser aiming market, where the two dominant units are butt fuck ugly and overweight, like just terrible things. The tier below it is dominated by fucking gray market lasers and something that costs $3,600. And by the time you get to C tier, my Asian parents don't even want to talk to me anymore. Like, that's the state of the laser aiming market. God damn it.
We should stop talking about this. It just makes us sad and angry every time.
Oh, shit.
All right, an impassioned plea. EOTech. I know there's only like 4 people who are going to actually buy an OGL if you make a civilian version. But
please,
2
I'll
of
probably
them are
buy
right
2.
here.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, we'll agree to buy 2 each. plus the other 2 guys who were going to buy them. So that's a pretty good amount of sales right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's actually probably the secret way to get EOTech to do anything. Just start comparing them to L3, and they'll be like, "Fuck you, we're not like L3."
Do you know L3 has a laser? Cool. L3 has a laser. It's called the Engel, and it's coming to the civilian market. Do you want to be beat by L3 with a civilian marketable laser that might be in the S tier?
Something to think about.
Yep. All right, and that's a wrap.